Hi there. It's trail update time. It feels like it's been a while since I did one of these little videos. I think the last time was like when I was finishing up in the Smoky Mountains. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks, I guess. Uh, let's see. Well, after leaving the Smokies, the first night out, I stayed at the Standing Bear Hostel, and that's right at the border of the Smoky Mountains. So I stayed there, and then it was like a long 2-day hike into Hot Springs, North Carolina, which was the first like real trail town that I went through, and that was pretty cool. It was like basically one street with a bunch of a couple restaurants and a bar and a pub and coffee shop and a small outfitter and post office, and there was a small grocery store, if you want to call it that, and then a Family Dollar. So everything was like right there, pretty handy. I stayed there one night, and because I had to mail some stuff home the next day, I didn't leave Hot Springs until about 11 o'clock. So that kind of put me a little bit behind as far as the next leg of my hike. From there, your next stop is Erwin, Tennessee, and really it's like a 5-day hike from Hot Springs to Erwin, especially when you leave Hot Springs late morning, early afternoon, because you can only do so many miles at that point. And the climb out of Hot Springs is pretty steep. So let's see, nothing really extravagant on that stretch of trail. The one thing that does stick out in my mind, I think it was the third night. Yeah, the third night. All day long we've been having like freezing rain and some spit and snow and sleet and stuff like that. So Thursday I got to a shelter, and I didn't want to set up my tent and get my tent all wet and nasty because I still had to sleep in it the next night. So I decided to stay in the shelter, which is kind of a rarity for me. I've only stayed in a couple of shelters. I usually like to stay in my tent. So that particular night, I think it was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. It got down to like 18 degrees and the wind was blowing, and that lean-to shelter did not offer much protection. So pretty much shivered all night. I maybe got 2 hours of sleep on that Wednesday. So Thursday, the following day, I was about 27 miles from Erwin, and I was 30 miles from the hotel that I had booked my stay at. And so I hiked the whole way. I hiked 30 miles straight into Erwin because it was supposed to be cold again Thursday night, and there was no way I could do 2 nights in a row and not get any sleep. So that worked out pretty well. Got to Erwin on Thursday night, stayed there Thursday night, took a 0 day, and that was my first 0 day since I've been out here. So that was really nice. I felt really good when I left Erwin. And after leaving Erwin, my next stop is Hampton, Tennessee. So I'm like, right now I'm about 12 miles from Hampton, Tennessee. So I've made it 4 days. This is my fifth. Tomorrow will be my 5th day before stops or after stops. Now, when you leave Erwin, you get into an area called the Roan Highlands, which is pretty cool. There's about a 12-mile stretch where there's like just a bunch of grassy, bald mountaintops up around, ranging from 5,000 to 6,000 feet. The views were absolutely incredible. In fact, the second night out of Erwin, or the second hiking day out of Erwin, I wanted to be on top of Round Bald Mountain because that was the night of the super moon and the weather was going to be good. So I hiked like 20 miles that day over like 3 mountaintops to get there. And I think that particular day I had like 18,000 feet in elevation change. So between the ups and downs, it was a little over 18,000 feet. So if you want to know what that's like tomorrow, go outside, get yourselves a bunch of rocks, sticks, and leaves. Go back inside your house and spread them out on your stairs, and then go up and down your stairs 900 times, and that'll give you kind of an idea what that feels like. That was certainly the largest elevation day for me since I've been out here. Yeah, so I got amazing pictures of the sunset from up there, the moon rising, and the sunrise the following morning was absolutely beautiful. In order to get good pictures of a sunrise, like, you have to have the right conditions. There has to be like a little sliver of clear sky where the sun's rising, and then beyond that has to be a bunch of like clouds that are holding moisture so you can get some good color. And that's what we had that particular morning. It was unbelievable. So I got pictures of that as well. That was really cool. It didn't last very long, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, but super cool. Let's see. Today I hiked past 3 big waterfalls today. Those were pretty cool. A lot of water. The stretch of trail I was on today, I hiked about 16 or 17 miles, and there was just water everywhere, fresh springs everywhere, so made it easy to drink plenty of water today. Yeah, so I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a 12.5 mile hike down into Hampton. I'm gonna meet my mother there tomorrow. She's in the area, so that'll be nice to see a familiar face, and it'll give me an opportunity to send some stuff home, some of my warm weather stuff. It's now that I'm getting further away from the Smokies, you're primarily in the 3,000 to 4,000 foot range, and you hit 5,000 feet occasionally, but you don't have to camp up there. So there's a huge difference in climate from the 3,000 to 4,000 foot range to the 5,000 to 6,000 foot range. So I should be able to send all my warm weather stuff home. So that'll be good. That'll lighten up my pack a little bit. What else? Oh, a little public service announcement, I guess, for any hikers out there, especially along the AT. If you happen to like walk up on this beautiful big waterfall and you see a pack and trekking poles, sneakers, socks, and a pile of clothes, take a couple pictures, chill out for a minute, and then move on. Get your water from the spring right down the trail a couple hundred yards. Don't get your water there, because typically there's probably a big dirty hiker up there in the waterfall getting a nice shower. In fact, you might not be able to see him, but no, he's there. He's there hiding behind a rock. I'm sure of it. So yeah, don't get your water from those streams at the big waterfalls. That would be a good public service announcement to you hikers out there. But everything's going well. I think I already said this is 1 month in. I'm at mile 4, I think like 416 tonight. It's going to be about 60 degrees tonight, which is unbearable heat as far as I'm concerned. But no, should be a good day tomorrow. Excited to see a familiar face, and I'll be in Damascus, Virginia in probably 4 days. So I got tomorrow and then a 3-day hike out of Hampton to Damascus. So, all right, we'll talk to you later.